As I mentioned in the prior movie, I was loving the edges, but I knew the center had to be changed. So another camera raw layer. So we have another layer. Let me turn camera raw off for a second, where we merge everything and convert it to a smart object and then take it into camera raw. Now, the camera raw settings, the wonderful world of smart objects and smart filters, means that we can double click on camera raw in order to see what happened. Now, this was a big dance, back and forth, because I worked in 3 different channels. And as you make settings in one and then move to another, you typically have to go back and change your settings in order to arrive at something you really like. So if I hit the letter P, this is the before and this is the after. You can see the numbers here. You can freeze this in order to get this. And notice that I actually desaturated this image. Now, why would you desaturate an image? I wanted the colors to be far more subtle than they were, because I know from the prior prints it just didn't look good. Now, cranking clarity up to 100% is kind of like find edges, but clarity is looking for changes of luminance everywhere, not just edges. If we zoom in and get up to 100%, you see I talked about the noise in the background in prior movies. Here, that noise is actually helping us achieve a more interesting result. Now, I didn't introduce any grain. This is all in the pulling the clarity over, and I'm hit Command 0, get this back, and changing these other settings. I also moved to the HSL grayscale, changed the luminance of the oranges. I just made them lighter. I wanted to de-emphasize that bright orange color that we had that may have looked great through the computer screen but did not look great on a print. And finally, I went to the effects channel and cranked dehaze up to 23. 2 and 3 is 5. Yeah. We have a theme. And 125, by the way, 5 times 5 times 5, that 12.5 setting, May 5th is the 125th day of the year. Can you believe it? And yes, on 5/5/55, that was true. Now, for those settings, once you crank up dehaze, I had to come back to the basic channel and brighten this a little bit in order to arrive at this result. Now, this looks pretty cool, and I did do a test print, a small test print, just to see how this looked. It was too intense. It still didn't look good on paper. So we'll come back and I'll show you what happened next.